Welcome to
Spread the Word!
Guess who's back again. Christen's back. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and start. So, I read A Merry Little Meet Cute. I picked this up because, first of all, Julie Murphy, she's great, right?
I love Julie Murphy.
Yes, and I was kind of like, why is there a second author on here? Not that there's anything wrong with that, but my interest was piqued for sure. And it is because there are some very saucy, spicy sex scenes in this book. And so you have like all of the feels of Julie Murphy with the feels of Sierra Simone. This book is about a porn star named B. Hobbs, but her porn star name is Bianca Von Honey. She's a plus-size porn star. And she does all sorts of porn, but feminist-forward porn. And she also has a closed doors account, which is basically in this world an OnlyFans equivalent. She is aspiring to be a professional actress. And then the other character, Nolan Shaw, he is an ex-boy band member, disgraced ex-boy band member. Disgraced. So he is caught at an Olympic event that the band was performing at in a threesome with the athletes, and is like disgraced, and his reputation is just like totally destroyed after that. So there is this Christmas movie that they want to make, and his agent wants to like sort of salvage his career by doing this really wholesome Christmas movie with the Hope Channel. Which is like a Hallmark. Yeah. B, she gets hired as the leading actress opposite him. It can't come to light that she is a porn star because the Hope Channel would not be happy about that.
How do they not know?
That? So
her simple Google reveal.
Yeah. Well, she has a fake name, I guess.
Yeah. So if they looked up Bianca Von Honey, there wouldn't be any like connection to B. Hobbs unless they like knew.
And then that's an awkward conversation in the casting room. Like, I know that we can't hire her. Why can't we hire her?
Right. Right.
Just a gut feeling.
Yeah. And her boss, who's like overhead of this like porn studio that she works for, he's trying to break into actual film. And so he's like working with the Hope Channel, and they don't know that he is also in the porn industry. And
it's like a house of cards.
Yeah, exactly. She is a great character because she's just like, I love what I do. I love having sex. Like, I love getting on closed doors and showing my body off and having all of these people like be interested in me, and she loves it. But what's also great is like during the formation of the movie, there are a lot of people from the porn production company working on the film. So it's like the costume designers, like he brings like assless chaps and things like that, and Nolan's like, I can't wear these, and the guy's like, what's the problem?
What's going on?
Right, because they're assuming that they're on set for a porn.
Pornographic film, not a
so everyone is confused. Like the two people that know what's happening are lying to the porn people. Like, we're just on another film.
Yes.
For the porn. And then they're lying to the studio and be like, no porn here.
Yeah.
This is so weird.
Yeah. I don't understand. And what's really hilarious is that like when they're going through headshots, like B's headshot is from here up, and her like boobs are out. The producer of Duke the Halls, the movie,
great
is
name.
like, oh my gosh, she's perfect. Look at her, she's beautiful. Weird that her boobs are out, but I love her. It's a strong choice, exciting choice.
Yeah,
exciting choice.
So there are things that you're reading it, and it doesn't feel like you're just kind of like,
to be like a little funny.
Yeah. And what's really crazy is, so B has been like lusting after Nolan in this boy band. She had like posters all over her room. And he watched, he's a subscriber to her closed doors account. Yeah. I mean, and like top tier.
Does he not recognize her?
No, he does.
Okay.
He does.
I was about to say, that's a step too far.
He does. He does. He sees her immediately, and it's just like, oh God, how am I supposed to like his agent is like, you need to keep this like like PG all the time, G-rated, white as the driven snow. You cannot do anything, like you cannot step out of line. This is to save your reputation. Then he sees her and he's like, white as the driven snow, white as the driven snow. But he is like top tier monthly subscriber, paying. Yeah.
But she doesn't know that until like later in the book or something.
Right.
That would be very weird. It'd be like, thank you for your patronage.
Right. She's just trying to become a professional actress, but like, not that what she's doing isn't a professional thing. You know what I mean? She doesn't feel like mainstream. Yeah, she doesn't feel like anything she's doing is deviant or wrong, and it's not. And I love that. Yeah, and then the sex scenes are
good.
Yeah, there's like a over the clothes thing where they're in their like their Victorian garb.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
it's a Victorian movie.
Duke the Halls.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I was thinking like, I don't know, Western.
Well, yeah, because of the assless chaps.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So there's just like a lot of themes that I connect with too. She's a plus size like porn star, and she is not ashamed of her body, and I just really like her as a character. I connect with her in that way. And Nolan is just like all into her hard, and that's also nice, you know. I recommend it.
Excellent. Yeah. I read Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. The book takes place at this old house called Sea Glass.
Oh.
It is owned by the grandmother matriarch of the Darker family. Darker being the last name, not that they are darkest among or more dark than their neighbors. Sorry. I want to be clear about that.
Weird way to compare people. Like, just not out of context. They're just darker in what way?
Just the vibe. Which actually they are. Like, it is a dark family. This is not like there's not a lot that's like subtext here. So she is the matriarch of this family. She is a children's book author. And one of the books that she wrote that got her all her money is called something of Daisy Darker. It's like not the life and times of Daisy Darker. It's like the misadventures of Daisy Darker. There's like a whole series, and it's named for her granddaughter Daisy. So you're at the house on the eve of the grandmother's 80th birthday, and she decides she's going to go over her will with her son, his wife Nancy, and their children, one of whom is Daisy, Lily, and Rose. There's a whole flower motif going here. Yeah. And then also there is family friend Colin and one of either Lily or Rose's child, Trixie. She tells them about the will, changes she made to the will, and I can't remember what the changes were, but everybody was pissed about them. Yeah. Yeah, and there's like all these family dynamics that are all kinds of weird. You're told the story through the perspective of Daisy, who she was diagnosed with a rare heart disease, or like something wrong with her heart when she was a kid, and she was told she was going to die, and her heart actually stopped several times throughout her childhood. And as such, she has like a really interesting voice that makes her seem like a child the entire time, even though she's like a woman in her 30s or 40s at the time of the book. So that's maybe coloring a lot of the perspective you're getting, because it's this woman who like doesn't think she's going to live very long, so is kind of like, here for a good time, not for a long time. Grandma's telling them about the will, and then Grandma shows up dead at midnight, and like right after she turns 80 at midnight.
Is this like a closed door mystery?
Yes.
Like who did it? Oh, that's good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then another person dies an hour later.
Oh,
what?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Boy.
Yeah, and the creepiest part is that near the bodies, they find poems written in the same like style as the grandmother's books.
Yeah.
Like all rhymed and like involving like the different members of the family.
So the immediate suspect is Daisy.
Not really. Each instance of the found poetry is like kind of pointing the finger at somebody else. Because like everybody had a reason to be upset, and like be money grubbing, you know. So why aren't they leaving? You might wonder. And people keep dying.
I haven't even thought of that
yet. They are stuck there because this house is like on a remote. It's not on. I don't think it's on an island, but it's on a part of England where with the tide basically turns where they are into an island.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have to wait for low tide to be able to go
for like 12 hours before taking it off.
Yeah. And so you're trying to figure out what's going on, and you're also flashing back and forth from Daisy's perspective back to their childhood, and you're aided by like these home movies that they also keep finding.
Oh, that's creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
Movies.
It's really good. I really like it.
Yeah.
I read The Family Izquierdo, which has a really cool cover. This is about a family, the family Izquierdo, who the patriarch of the family, and there is very helpfully a family tree at the beginning, but it's big. They had 10 kids.
Like,
this is Family Izquierdo.
Goodness.
It's just like one gender, or like, you know, the Papatavo and Abuelita, and then these are just their kids, and then I guess their grandkids. So Papatavo and Abuelita, like they are the first ones who come to McAllen, Texas, which is right over the border. So they come over to like and start. The dad ends up setting up a pretty successful construction business, and then it's the story of like the kids. But the author originally wrote it as short stories. Each chapter is told from a different person in the family's perspective, from like an first person narrative. Mm-hmm. So you're like hearing stuff about what eventually happens. There's like some like foreboding about, you know, some of the cousins and stuff like that, but you know, you slowly unravel, and it is still moving forward in time at the same time, you know. Mm-hmm. So it's like kind of that interesting sort of like family history almost. Mm-hmm. This one's definitely not one that has like an overarching like plot drive. Just like if you're sitting and listening to, you know, your own family stories, like this is what you would be hearing. Mm-hmm. The author does an amazing job of like changing the character voices. I really like the one that he does of Maggie. She's a hairdresser, and you can just like really hear the way she speaks. She's called Maggie Magic Fingers.
Oh. Sounds very Bianca Von Honey.
Yeah. I mean, does it get kind of sensual? Yes. And she's like, I love doing the men's hair because they come in and she's like, this is how I get the really big tips. And she's like, kind of like explaining like her method. And she's like, you know, you sit them down, you ask them if they want the tea tree shampoo, and you can make a big show of like rubbing your hands together and like massaging their head. Like what they like is just, they being the men that she's doing this to, like they just like hearing me speak. It's not like really about what I say, but it's the way I say it, the soothing tone and like all this stuff. And I was like, and she's like, I look at them and they're so lonely and they like are dead in the eyes. I'm like, oh my God.
Good Lord.
It's interesting. Yeah, it was good. And so each one, like they all have like such different personalities, obviously. And there's like themes of, you know, mental health and like a lot of religiousness intertwined with superstition. There is one scene at a quinceañera. One of the granddaughters' quinceañeras, she like goes up to say her speech, and at the end of her speech, she's like, "And what I wanted to say was, I'm gonna marry Jesus." And then she floats off the stage, and I was like, "What?"
Bye.
Yeah. I don't know if she went somewhere or if she just floated. Unclear. I haven't heard from her again yet.
Yeah. Did she hit the ceiling or just keep going through it?
I don't know. Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Especially from books.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to Spread the Word.
Season 4, episode 1.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh my
new season.
God.
Yeah.
First episode of the new season.
That's crazy.
That's
year 4.
Years.
Yeah.
What was your first one? Do you guys remember? Anyway, well, we love y'all. Bye.
Bye.